Point 1. The constant critic, relatives who always find fault. As we grow older, our emotional needs change. After 70, seniors long for peace, respect, and gentle companionship, not constant correction or criticism. Yet, almost every family has that one relative who always finds something negative to say. They may criticize your appearance, your choices, your health habits, or even how you spend your retirement years. At first, these comments may seem small. But over time, they begin to erode self-esteem, create tension, and steal joy. Why criticism hurts more in old age? At younger ages, criticism can sometimes motivate us to improve. But in later years, seniors don't need fixing, they need encouragement and validation. Constant criticism often leads to feelings of inadequacy, isolation, and depression. Researchers in geriatric psychology confirm that negative family interactions can have a stronger impact on seniors' mental health than positive ones. A single harsh word often lingers longer than 100 kind ones. Real-life example: imagine Mr. Thomas, 74. Every Sunday dinner, his daughter-in-law commented on his eating. "You shouldn't eat that much salt, or are you sure you can handle that dessert?" Though well-intentioned, the constant criticism made him dread family gatherings. He eventually stopped attending, not because of health, but because of shame. Later, when asked why, he said, "I felt like I was no longer the head of my family, just a weak old man being scolded." How to recognize a constant critic. They rarely praise you, but always point out your mistakes. They disguise criticism as jokes or advice. You feel tense or defensive whenever they're around. After interacting, you replay their words in your mind, feeling upset, the damage they cause. Emotional drain. Constant correction leads to anxiety and sadness. Loss of confidence. Seniors may stop trying new activities or social events for fear of judgment. Family division. Other relatives may start avoiding gatherings because of the tension. Health decline. Stress from criticism increases blood pressure and weakens the immune system. How seniors can protect themselves. Set boundaries. Politely but firmly say, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm happy with my choices." Limit contact. Spend less time around relatives who criticize constantly. Shift attention. Surround yourself with friends and family who uplift you. Practice emotional detachment. Remind yourself, their criticism says more about them than about me. The power of distance. Many seniors feel guilty about stepping back from relatives, thinking family must always come first. But remember this truth: peace is more important than forced togetherness. By limiting time with critics, you create space for healing, joy, and self-acceptance. Seniors who detach from toxic relatives often report sleeping better, feeling lighter emotionally, and smiling more often. At 70 reflection and beyond, every day is precious. Why waste it listening to someone pick apart your life? The constant critic is not helping you, they're harming you. And choosing peace over criticism is not selfish, it's survival. When you silence the critic's voice, you begin to hear something much more important, your own. Point 2. The manipulator. Relatives who use guilt to control seniors. When you reach your 70s, you've given so much of yourself as a parent, a spouse, a friend, a worker, and a community member. But unfortunately, some relatives don't see that. Instead, they see opportunity. They use guilt, pressure, and emotional blackmail to control you, often without you even realizing it at first. This kind of manipulation is especially dangerous for seniors because it drains peace, creates confusion, and leads to resentment in what should be the most relaxed stage of life. How manipulation shows up in families. Manipulators rarely demand things directly. Instead, they wrap their desires in emotional traps, such as, "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me. After all I've done for you, you owe me. You never call me anymore, you don't care about me, if you don't help, who will?" At first, these may sound like harmless words. But the hidden message is clear: your feelings don't matter. Only my needs do. Why seniors are targeted. Emotional vulnerability. Many seniors worrying about being a burden, so manipulators exploit that fear. Loneliness. Some older adults put up with manipulation just to feel less alone. Desire for harmony. Seniors often avoid conflict, making them easier targets for guilt tactics. Financial dependence. If money or inheritance is involved, relatives may turn manipulative to gain control. A real-life story. Consider Mrs. Lopez, 79. She lived alone after her husband passed away. Her son began calling only when he needed money. He would say, "Mom, if you don't help me, I'll lose my house. Don't you care about your grandchildren?" At first, she gave small amounts, but the requests grew bigger. Over 2 years, she gave away nearly all her savings. When she finally said no, her son stopped visiting. She was left devastated, not just financially, but emotionally. She once said in tears, "I thought I was helping my family. But I was only feeding their selfishness while starving myself of peace." The emotional toll of manipulation. Guilt overload. Seniors constantly second-guess themselves, feeling selfish if they say no. Loss of autonomy. Life decisions begin to revolve around the manipulator's demands, not personal needs. Resentment and sadness. Deep down, seniors feel used rather than loved. Health decline. Stress and anxiety weaken immunity, increase blood pressure, and accelerate aging. How to recognize a manipulative relative. They only contact you when they need something. Conversations often leave you feeling guilty, anxious, or drained. They twist your words, making you feel like the bad person. They don't respect your boundaries. Instead, they push harder when you resist. How seniors can protect themselves. Learn to say no without apology. A simple, firm no, "I can't do that" is enough. You don't owe lengthy explanations. Set clear boundaries. Decide what you are willing and unwilling to give, whether it's money, time, or emotional support. Seek honest support. Confide in a trusted friend, counselor, or support group. Having someone validate your feelings can break the cycle of guilt. Prioritize self-care. Remind yourself that your health, peace, and happiness are just as important as anyone else's needs. Breaking free from manipulation. Many seniors fear that pulling away will cause conflict or rejection. But here's the truth. A relationship based only on guilt was never love in the first place. Walking away from manipulation doesn't make you selfish. It makes you strong. When you stop giving manipulators power, you regain control over your own life. A gentle reflection. At this stage in life, you deserve to be surrounded by relatives who value you for who you are, not for what you give them. If someone truly loves you, they won't manipulate you. They will respect your no. They will celebrate your choices. And if they don't, it is not your duty to carry the weight of their unhappiness. The manipulator thrives on your guilt. But the moment you choose peace over pressure, you discover freedom, and that freedom is priceless. Point 3. The energy drainer. Relatives who constantly bring negativity and chaos. When you reach your 70s, your energy becomes your most precious resource. You don't have the same stamina you once did, and that's perfectly natural. But what many seniors discover is that the greatest drain on their energy isn't illness, age, or chores. It's toxic relatives who constantly bring negativity, drama, and chaos into their lives. These energy drainers rarely mean well. They arrive at your doorstep physically or over the phone, full of complaints, problems, gossip, and bad news. And by the time they leave, you feel tired, heavy, and emotionally exhausted. The science of negativity. Studies show that listening to constant complaining activates the brain's stress response, even if the problems aren't yours. For seniors, stress hormones like cortisol stay in the body longer, damaging immunity and raising blood pressure. Over time, exposure to negativity can cause sleep problems, fatigue, and even memory decline. That means your relative's endless drama isn't just annoying, it may literally be shortening your life. A real-life example, take Mr. Johnson, 81. His niece visited weekly, but every visit turned into a storm of negativity. She would complain about her job, her husband, her children, the government, everything. That means your relative's endless drama isn't just annoying, it may literally be shortening your life. A real-life example. Take Mr. Johnson, 81. His niece visited weekly, but every visit turned into a storm of negativity. She would complain about her job, her husband, her children, the government, everything. Instead of enjoying her company, Mr. Johnson began to dread her visits. He told a friend, "After she leaves, I feel like I've run a marathon without moving an inch." Eventually, his blood pressure rose. His doctor advised him to limit stressful interactions. The irony. The very relative he wanted to support was slowly harming his health. How to recognize an energy drainer? They always come with problems, but rarely with solutions. They turn every conversation into a rant or complaint. They resist positivity. If you suggest hope, they counter with despair. After spending time with them, you feel tired, sad, or hopeless, the damage they cause. Emotional exhaustion. You start avoiding calls or visits because you know they'll drain you. Weakened health. Stress weakens immunity and worsens heart conditions in seniors. Loss of joy. Time that could have been spent laughing, walking, or enjoying hobbies is wasted on negativity. Isolation. To avoid energy drainers, some seniors withdraw completely, cutting themselves off from even positive relationships. How seniors can protect themselves. Limit time. It's okay to shorten visits or end phone calls politely. A simple, "I need to rest now" works. Redirect conversations. Shift the topic toward lighter subjects. That sounds tough. By the way, did you see the garden blooming? Set emotional boundaries. Remind yourself, their negativity is not your responsibility to fix. Balance energy. For every draining interaction, schedule something uplifting, like listening to music, spending time in nature, or chatting with a positive friend. The power of guarding your energy. In your 70s and beyond, peace of mind is your lifeline. You cannot allow constant drama to poison it. Protecting your energy doesn't make you cold. It makes you wise. Think of your energy like a precious candle. If you let energy drainers surround it with wind, the flame weakens. But if you shield it carefully, the flame burns bright, giving you warmth and light for years to come. A gentle reflection. Remember this truth: you don't have unlimited energy anymore, and that's okay. But the energy you do have should be spent on joy, health, and love, not on endless complaints and negativity. After 70, every peaceful morning, every smile, every gentle walk matters more than ever. Don't give that away to energy drainers. Save it for yourself and for the people who truly uplift you.